Air is colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas. Air is around us. Do you don't believe it? Shall I show you some practical examples, such as winnowing, storms, tornadoes, etc., shows the presence of air around us. This is very important to know that air is a important necessity in our life and it is a source of energy too. Now let us know what are the constituencies of the air. Constituencies of air are constituents or the parts. In 1978, Lavoisier showed that air mainly consists of oxygen and nitrogen gas. In air, nitrogen and oxygen are present 4 is to 1 volume. Air is also contains small quantities of carbon dioxide, water vapor, noble gas like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, dust particles, smoke, and other many gases. Air shows properties of all components present in it. Therefore, air is a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, noble gases, mainly argon, tiny soil particles of dust, and unburned carbon. Now let us know what are the sources of these constituents in air. Nitrogen is natural. Oxygen is also natural but produced from plants. Carbon dioxide is through respiration of animals and emissions from the factories. Water vapor is from seas, lakes, and etc. Noble gases are natural. Soil particles, fine sand, etc. are natural. Now we'll discuss composition of air. Composition of air means nitrogen consists of 78.1%, oxygen consists of 20.9%, and carbon dioxide is of 0.03%, water vapor is 0.93%, and other gases are 1%. All these gases have very low solubility in water. If of all gases in air, carbon dioxide is the most soluble gas in water, and oxygen also dissolves in water through a low level. Rainwater therefore dissolves these gases to very small extent. Therefore, the composition of the air except water vapor remains almost unaffected by rainwater. The percentages of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles in air keep changing from time to time and place to place. For example, the area around the industrial area contains more carbon dioxide and green other than green areas. Relative proportions of oxygen and nitrogen. To confirm the presence of oxygen and nitrogen in the air, determine the relative amounts of oxygen and nitrogen in air. Perform the following experiment. I will show you this experiment in next episode. And for representing the presence of carbon dioxide, you should take a glass rod, glass beaker. You can see here thin one, and you should place a cork and place a big tube, bend it, push the air pump inside it, and once give a push to air pump. When it releases the carbon dioxide gas into the lime water present inside, the lime water turns into white color. This means that the air also consists of carbon dioxide. Now let us know water vapor in air. This is also having a small experiment. Place ice cold water and few ice cubes in a beaker and place it on a table. After some time, you will find water droplets outer surface of the beaker. This is due to the condensation process. This you have learned in water cycle of the water vapor present in the air. The experiment shows air also contains water vapor. The content of water vapor in the air is expressed in terms of humidity or relative humidity. Presence of dust, smoke particles in the air. Air also consists of few dust particles and smoke. The quantity of these particles higher in industrial areas and around desert areas. To show this, to show the presence of dust or smoke, we should perform the many experiments. Now we'll take a small one. Take a clean dry watch glass or china dish, apply a little grease on it, and inner surface place it a open place. After a few hours time, wipe it inner surface with a white cloth. Observe the piece of cloth. The dust or smoke in the cloth confirm the presence of dust particles in the air. That means the air consists of very much dust particles in industrial areas other than green areas. Now we'll know How do animals and plants or the living organisms get oxygen? uh, okay, so all living organisms get oxygen through the one and only process, photosynthesis. This is done by plants. To produce their food, these autotrophs do their work. Autotroph means the plants which can produce their own food are known as autotrophs. This facility is only provided for plants. That's why we get so many food products to eat nowadays. I mean, from years ago. So now we'll know how this happens. All living things are need energy for activities. This energy comes from food. The food taken all living organisms combines the oxygen inside its body to produce energy. That is adenosine triphosphate, which is produced by the cell. This is called respiration. The respiration is defined as the pair of inhalation and exhalation is known as respiration. Taking a breath is inhalation, leaving the breath is exhalation. Direct from air. How we get the oxygen direct from air? The living organisms on earth take oxygen from air during respiration. Carbon dioxide, water vapor produced during process is given out. Birds, mammals, including human beings, breathe in through lungs. Yeah, actually, this is only available in the aquatic animals like fishes and other. From air trapped in soil, this is available for earthworms, means the air present underground. These are the sources of oxygen we breathe. Now let us know how it is produced from air and replaced to balance oxygen in air. Oxygen present in air is consumed during the respiration of animals or the humans. Combustion of burning of fossil fuels creates the carbon dioxide. In this both process, carbon dioxide and water are produced. These products escape into atmosphere. Oxygen is produced. How it is produced? During photosynthesis, a wonderful activity of green plants produces oxygen. Photosynthesis is a lively process which we will learn now, which is very interesting. Please listen. Photosynthesis is a process in which green plants take the carbon dioxide and leave out the oxygen as the final good, with including the food products. The equation of carbon dioxide is 6CO2 plus 6H2O raised to 6C6H12O6 plus 6O2. I am repeating the photosynthesis equation again. 6CO2 plus 6H2O raised to C6H12O6 plus 6O2. In the raised to above we have sunlight and chlorophyll. With this reaction the glucose is produced. Glucose is again converted into the reliant food contents. Okay, so now we'll discuss about that. I will explain you the photosynthesis definition. Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants make their food in the form of carbohydrate with the carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green colored substance present in the green leaves of the plants. Oxygen is a valuable product of the photosynthesis. This is released escapes the air through stomata. Tiny pores on the surface of leaves are known as stomata. The tiny pores on the leaves are known as stomata. That is the definition of stomata. Photosynthesis takes place only during daytime. The volume of oxygen released during the photosynthesis is equal to the volume of carbon dioxide taken up by plant. Therefore, the proportion of oxygen in the atmosphere remains almost fixed. So now we'll know what are the uses of so now we'll know about uses of air. Air means wind energy. I said you it is a source of energy. Wind energy. The kinetic energy of moving air called wind is called wind energy. Wind energy is used for transporting people and materials by using sailboats. Sailboats are prepared by the cloths by which the wind is direction it flows. The sail cloths move towards that, and we can move with the help of the wind, so that the boat moves front and we could go faster. If wind energy is used to pumping out underground water, grinding grains such as wheat, gram, maize, etc. by using windmills. Windmills is the source of electrical energy, and it comes under the natural source of electrical energy. Wind energy is used for generation of electricity by windmills. Wind energy also help us to movement of gliders, parachutes and aeroplanes. A wind can be used for running water pump, grinding grains and generation of electricity. Air wind also help us to dispersal of seeds, pollen of flowers. These are the very useful things of air which is done by our nature. We should respect our nature. So now I'm gonna say the last thing. last thing, that is air pollution. Nowadays air is polluted so much because of huge traffic and everything, and due to this our ozone layer around the earth, which is a thick layer which is protecting us by sun UV ray, which is protecting these dangerous UV rays from the sun, nowadays is depleting in Antarctica region. So this is due to the air pollution. If we could reduce that at 2064, it may decrease and our ozone layer may get repaired. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe to Let Us Study channel. Stay tuned. Signing off, this is Deepak Kumar.